Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on Balboa. Instead of this video, I do want to talk about Type Soul and kind of why we almost need Type Soul right now. If you guys don't know, I think on April Fools, they did something to open up the game for like 10 seconds, then it kicked you out. That basically had the community outraged. But honestly, I felt like that day, unironically, would have been a perfect day to actually release the game. If you actually like think about it, there's nothing to play on Roblox right now, and it's been that way for a long time. And the only reason why I think people really even miss Type Soul in the first place is because it is genuinely the only game that we have had in the recent like 2 years that has been an actual game that we could play for more than like an hour a day and actually have fun. Every other game that has came out recently has just been pure garbage and terrible to the point where literally you hop on for maybe 30 minutes and you just get off. Type Soul was the last game that I genuinely can say that I actually played that has came out fairly recently, right? And if you guys don't know, the initial release of Type Soul was in July of 2023. So we have been waiting and playing the same game for almost 2 years now, right? Almost 2 years we have been playing the same exact game and no other game has released, right? Because honestly, in my own opinion, I feel like if any other game were to have released in that time that like is an actual game that we've been waiting for, like Rel C's, Holy Warats, anything like that, nobody would care about Type Soul. But Type Soul has been the only game that anyone has played in literally 2 years. Like there has not been any other decent games out in that amount of time, and that is the only reason why people actually like Type Soul and miss Type Soul, is because it's the only game that we have actually known and played on Roblox for literally 2 years. And that is almost why we need Type Soul, because it's the only game that we know. It is literally like if you started playing Roblox anime games like in the last 2 years, Type Soul is the only game that you actually know that is actually like decent. It's the only one that I can actually like that I can think of. There was Jujutsu Infinite. That game was terrible. And then, dude, I can't even really name any other games. I'm not gonna lie, I literally cannot name any other game that has came out recently because they're all just that bad. Where Type Soul is the only one that has any sort of relevancy. Like, you can say Gulri, but Gulri might as well just be Type Soul. Like, they're damn near the same game, just Gulri's like 9 times worse. That's literally just how it is. And it's very unfortunate that that's how it is, but there's just no other game. You could even say Sorcery, but even Sorcery damn near is basically just Type Soul. Like, every game that has came out recently that is actually an okay PvP game is basically just Type Soul but rebranded a little bit and changed to a different anime. That's literally all that Roblox has become. And obviously, once when Rel C's Holy Rats or something like that does come out, I do think that Type Soul, everyone will kind of just forget about it and nobody will really care about it anymore. But at the current moment, it basically is the game that we need because it's the only game that we've had for this long, right? It's already damn near been 2 years since the initial release, and there has yet to be anything else to even come remotely close to it in terms of like actually not only how good the game is, but how popular it is or anything like that. So it's honestly crazy to say that we need Type Soul, but like I'm not playing Golri. I'm not playing it. I'm not playing Golri. I I'm done with Runeslayer. That shit is terrible. And the crazy part is that Type Soul isn't even necessarily a good game, right? The balancing is terrible. The updates were pretty bad. The mod and dev team was terrible. Like, there wasn't many redeeming factors about the game at all. It's just the fact that it's Type Soul, to be honest. Like, that's the only redeeming factor that it has going for it, is its name being Type Soul. Like, that's all that I can really think of. And it's crazy that the best game that we have had in the last 2 years is literally filled with Predator developers, terrible updates, and just everything else. Like, that is the best game that we have had in the last 2 years, and it is not a good game at all. Like, if you look at it on paper, that shit is terrible. But it's still the only game, like, that I can actually think of that I've played recently. Now, as far as when the release should be, right? Because a lot of people were thinking that it was actually going to come out April 1st, and it obviously didn't. Now, as far as when release should be, I was talking to a few testers, and they were making it seem like it was going for a like summer-ish release date, so probably around June, July. Honestly, I see this being very possible because Setro keeps saying, "Oh yeah, the game's soon, the game's soon, the game's soon." I don't even think they fully started testing the game yet, so the game isn't nearly as soon as he is making it seem to be. I would probably say realistically around a June July release is very plausible for Type Soul. Which, if you don't already know what they're adding, it makes sense, honestly, because they said they're adding dungeons, they're changing ranks, they're changing clan wars, they're adding Hellverse, obviously, they're, like, reworking a lot of stuff, they're adding some new stuff, they're just doing a lot, so it does make sense for them to release around June or July. The game's already been down for, like, 5 months, but honestly, the last time the game was down, it was down for, like, a month, and they barely changed anything. So it does make sense for them to not only take longer because they're adding way more, but they also said that they want it to be like a perfect release where, you know, there's no bugs, there's nothing lagging out the game. Like last time they released the game, KT was literally broken, or it wasn't broken, but it just made everyone super laggy, and you know, that's honestly what like killed the game. So they're just not trying to do that again. That is why it's taking so long. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, June, July, around that time is probably when Type Soul actually genuinely will come back. Which honestly is a good time for it to release. If you guys don't know, Type Soul at this point is basically a summer game, right? Almost any time anyone talks about Type Soul, it's always like, oh, summer 2023 Type Soul, that was peak, or summer 2024. Like, it is damn near a summer lot game, so it would make sense for them to release around that time. But it really depends if Relsey's, Holy Words, or some other type of game that is like to the next category ends up actually releasing, doing something, because those names are close, or at least they should be close. I know Holy Words has 2 more movies to be released, but I think they are going to try to like speedrun those. And then Relsey's, I think it's already in testing, to be honest. Like, I think Relsey's is probably super close to being released. And right when that game released, right when Relsey's, Holy Rats, anything like that release, it's basically over for Type Soul, in my opinion. I don't really think that it would be getting nearly as many players as it probably should, because those are like the next level games that we have been waiting for, pretty much. Because after those 2 games release, I think the quality of Roblox anime games will just step up in general, and then, yeah, we'll be good. But until that happens, we are stuck with the same garbage games, right? Because there was a wave, kind of like Relsey's and Holy War, which was Project Slayers and GPO. Like when those 2 first came out, that is when we started seeing a change in like Roblox games, Roblox anime games. Like the quality definitely stepped up after those 2 games. And then we kind of had a dry spell where it was only Type Soul for 2 years. And now, hopefully, Rail Season and Holy Rats will do the same thing and kind of step up the general quality of the Roblox anime games, because they have been pretty shit recently. But yeah, basically, that's when Type Soul should be coming out. As far as what they're adding, they should be adding dungeons, Hellverse, and just a bunch of other stuff. And we kind of just have to hope that it does come out soon, because if Rosie's releases, you best bet I'm not fucking hopping on Type Soul, right? You guys can feel free to leave your thoughts on anything I said inside this video. That's just my own opinion. I honestly do think that we do need Type Soul right now. I think if they release, like, the sooner they release, the better, because there is just genuinely nothing to play. We can go through Roblox right now, and I can show you. Like, my recently played, it has to be the most tragic thing I think I've ever seen. I was playing Capybara Evolution. But yeah, if you just look through the games, right? Jujutsu Infinite, terrible. Jewelry, terrible. Mashal Academy is pretty good, but it's not open to the public right now. And then as far as other games, like the most popular games right now is Dead Rails, a Rise crossover, Blots Fruits, and Blue Lock Rivals, and Fish Still. This has to be the worst lineup I've ever seen. The only, like, semi-redeemable playable game in this whole lineup is Blue Lock Rivals, and it's still terrible. It's not good in any way. So, yeah, This is basically what Roblox has come down to. Honestly, I'm gonna start playing Anime Vanguards because I don't know when this game started getting popular again, but it did. So this is probably what I'll play while I wait for Type Soul to come out. But you guys can feel free to leave your own thoughts in the comment section down below, or anything else that you guys want to talk about, any games that you're playing, anything like that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.